Today is January 12th. The rundown. Feidelberg, can you just make sure? Oh, Feidelberg's not here again. That's right. Feidelberg has once again decided he doesn't show up to the office. We are relocating everybody to an office so we can be together and share ideas and thoughts and no double blogs, all that shit. I told Feidelberg when he stopped showing up at the office without telling me that he wasn't coming to the office anymore about 2 weeks ago, you should probably show up to the office. You're right, I should show up. According to his roommate, Lewis, he has not left the couch now for 48 hours. I don't know if he's sick. I don't know what he's doing.
He's sick, so you probably wouldn't want him there. I'll stand up for him on this one. He is sick.
Do you think
you cannot win with you, Dave, because if you come in when you're sick, you get yelled at. You don't come in, you get yelled at.
No, Kevin, I think you can win. I think an email to the boss, the number 2 in command.
Because
I chopped your legs out before you guys could chime in. Your brains didn't work fast enough, so I beat you to the punch.
Well, I mean, Dave, you don't respond to emails.
Simple.
Or like you haven't taken emails from employees and put it on blast on the site before.
Simple email. Oh, I forgot this is the G Chat gang versus me. Okay. How about a simple? How about a simple email? Hey, I'm sick. I've asked Lewis 4 times. Lewis, you haven't said he's sick.
Don't you realize you're just a coworker now? You're just
Lewis,
one of our coworkers.
Is he sick?
You're nobody special.
Lewis, who's his roommate, saying he's not sick.
Wow, that's just a bad roommate. Just throwing him under the bus.
Yeah, what the hell, Lewis? There's going to be some trouble in paradise.
Maybe a simple email. Hey, I don't feel well. I'm not coming in. You're right. I'd say stay home, but I'm in the dark over here. I'm in the dark.
That's how you run your company, though.
Guilty as charged.
That one in there.
National title game. What a game. Great game. What a gambling game. Even KFC, I saw you, old man KFC, staying up late tweeting about it all the way late. I was surprised. You're like the Tony Kornheiser of our group. Like, well, I didn't watch it, but I'll talk about it anyways. Like you got every time I call you, babies chirping in the background.
This has gone off the rails really quick. I don't know.
Big Cat, we'll start with you. And I tweeted this to you, Big Cat. You were on Alabama. I was on Clemson. What I said in that tweet to you is actually the truth. Any gambler will say this.
Use my logic. I say the same thing all the time. It's like when we were talking the other day, how I bet on Joe Webb, 4 years ago in Lambeau. That was the dumbest bet of all time, but I can still walk around with a badge of honor saying I bet on Joe Webb.
You always, what I tweeted for those who didn't see it, any gambler will say you always remember the losses. You don't remember the wins. So I already forgot about it. I'm already on to college basketball tonight. That loss for you, Dan. And by the way, if I lost that game, I was going to talk about the seconds that they cheated me out of at the goal line for maybe the next year. I went back and watched it.
I saw you prepping. You do this thing where you prep. You do it in Patriots games too. You prep. You just get everyone ready for if something goes wrong, the excuses will be like all nice and set up for you. That was the most entertaining national championship game since the Vince Young at the Rose Bowl. It wasn't better than that game because they just didn't play defense for the second half. 40 points in the fourth quarter. That was why we gamble. I don't know if you read my blog this morning. That fourth quarter is why we gamble. It was back and forth. Alabama. I was sitting there online trying to see if I wanted to hedge out. I had like Clemson at 10.5 at one point, almost pulled the trigger. I kept on doing that for the entire fourth quarter. Should I get out? Should I stay in? I was like, no, I'm going to fucking ride with it. Alabama on that goal line, you're rooting for them to score a touchdown. I'm rooting for them to kick a field goal, to get stuffed and kick a field goal. So we're rooting for opposite things, even though like I'm rooting for Alabama to fail and you want them to succeed. It was bananas.
Well, but that's what made it actually such a complex, really almost scientific situation at the end of the game, because you're right. It was this: either score now or don't score at all. Because I think they were going for it on fourth down.
No.
Oh yeah,
let's go up 8, dude.
Go
from up 5 to up 8. You
have
to go up 8.
No, because they had no timeouts. So it would have been like 40 seconds.
No, you're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
That would have been No, you're wrong.
No, you are.
No, you are.
I guarantee you they go for it there on fourth. That's what makes.
That's an extra point to go up 8.
Yeah, but then you got to kick off. It's much harder to go in 30 seconds from the inch line to still score a touchdown. There's no chance that they weren't going for it.
I still don't think.
But that's what made it such. I
thought
thought
kick that field goal and you don't get it for some reason. If something goes wrong, you still have to go the full length. Like You kicked that field goal.
Yeah,
so
no, but a blocked field goal, run back, the odds were much better, and you're probably going to score. You're probably going to score.
Whatever.
You're probably going to score. KFC, what do you think they do there?
I understand your logic, but I think you go up 8 if you can go up 8.
Right.
In almost any situation, I think you go.
If you can guarantee
I would bet my life.
Scenario,
I would bet my life they were going to go for it on 4th.
No, if you can guarantee worst case scenario, you go to overtime. You take that. You don't risk losing in regulation.
The way that game was playing out too, like anything was possible. Like I wouldn't take it for granted that they couldn't go down the field.
I think it's harder to score from the inch-yard line with like 35 seconds than having to score a touchdown, get 2, and receive a kickoff and start. Who knows where you start? That's what I'm saying.
Right. I wanted them to get stopped there, kick the field goal, the field goal, go up 8, play defense.
Right.
Because they knew, you knew, I knew. That was why there's a subtle difference that only gamblers will understand. That wasn't a bad beat because Clemson was the right pick basically the whole game.
Right.
It was a brutal backdoor cover because I'm up 12 with a minute. Clemson's got no timeouts. I have a 99% probability of someone sent me like the statistic, a 99% probability of covering it, but it was a 0% probability.
Right, and those probabilities, I don't even know who. I'd like to talk to those probability guys because I don't know what they do. If you asked me if I could switch my bet when Clemson received the kickoff, I would have done it in a second. I don't know if I would have done that, but what those guys don't factor in clearly in the probability is they don't factor in, I don't think, a 1-score game versus like a 2-score game. Like they don't like when you play defense versus you're just giving up 40-yard plays for free.
But still, Alabama, if they get 1 sack, the game's over.
Totally.
Because everyone's running downfield and they can't get back with no timeouts. Or if they even get a play where they stop them before the first down and the clock doesn't stop.
Totally. And I know Dabo Swinney got screwed twice, but they literally ran 13 seconds off. They said he scored, and then they just kept running the fucking clock. That I was convinced that 13 seconds was going to bite me in the ass. As far as the game itself, not gambling perspective, outside that clock thing, first of all, I thought Watson was like improved his whole life by that game. I thought he was sublime. And 2, we need all football games, college, NFL, reffed like how those they let them play. That I haven't seen that. Like there could have been a bunch of questionable pass interferences. They didn't call them. It's so much better when you let these fucking people play. KFC is a non-college football guy. What'd you think as like kind of an outside perspective?
That's everything I want college football to be that it usually isn't. And that's everything as a non-gambler, watching you two last night, I was like, part of me, I saw Dave going nuts. I was like, I want that in my life. I want that rush. But when I saw, Dan knew it was coming. And then even like, I was like, you know what? He's right. This is going to be a backdoor cover. And then a couple incompletions. I was like, all right, he's safe. And then it still happened. And he was still just ripped his heart out. I was like, all right, maybe I can't take the gambling. But if every college football game was entertaining like that, and every moment of gambling was exciting like that, I get what I'm missing now when I watch a game like that.
It was the pass that they gave up to like the 40. That's one. I didn't think I was going to win when Alabama scored. When they just let them have a wide open guy to your it's like, I'm in.
And Kevin, to want to be in those shoes, the problem is, Dave, I'm sure you slept like a baby last night. I was wired, staring at the ceiling till like 3 a.m., being like, how do they not fucking just stop them once there and just like someone bat a ball down, someone. Because usually, you sometimes have a chance of a pick because people are forcing things, just anything.
A bad pass always on defense, and they did, I think, 2 or 3 times, is the sideline 12-yard pass that literally take less than 1 second. Like they just catch it and step out of bounds, and it's like nothing even changed. Those are bad.
Also, we should just say to the game, Saban won that game. Saban won that game with that onside kick. That onside kick changed the entire game, the entire momentum. Obviously, that kick return was like sensational.
That was the fastest
going around the corner. Unbelievable. But Saban, the ball's on Saban to do that. And I love that Dabo he got caught with his pants down so hard that he couldn't figure out what was going on. He thought something happened illegal
Yeah.
Because it was so easy for Alabama.
There was actually a Clemson guy like celebrating that. It was like their ball.
Yeah.
It was the cleanest onside kick maybe in the history of the game.
No.
It also, and I was thinking about it, and I know all here could, but it's Saban is Belichick of college. He never has to worry about anything not working. So he can do anything, anytime, any place, anywhere, because he's God, and it doesn't matter. It was a great move. The play of the game, for the most part, the play though. And you're right, Clemson was the play. If they play 10 times, I think Clemson wins 5, Bama wins 5. But that tight end on that screen where they had 13 guys like hemming him in, and he just ran for 80 yards. That I thought Clemson was going to get the ball back and win the game at that point. And then I thought I was going to lose. Just great. It's great. I am so hot right now with gambling. If you touch me, like your whole body goes into flames. It won't last. Elio's begging me to quit, and I just
need to get that furniture set.
I just keep pushing, being like, you know what? I'm going to try one more. I'm going to try, and I know I'm going to lose it all back. But right now,
Stop.
You know what?
Can't stop.
Do you ever cash out a little bit though, or you just let it all ride? Like,
No, I mean I have it right now, but as I'm saying, I know I'm going to lose it all back. Like, I don't even believe as I say it, but I know it's true.
Hot. I know how it is. I know. When you get on a heater like that, it's like nothing else. When you just everything you see. I'm waiting for your picks tonight. I'm the little popper boy, like showing up to the fucking bread line.
Yo, let me also say this. Let me say this. Twitter made that whole experience 10 times better. Because if it was just a bad beat and you won, whatever, watching your tweets go back and forth, the two different mentalities, when you just... When Dave said, I love gambling, and you said, I need some money, it was just perfect.
And I gotta be honest, I wasn't like, my computer and system, I wasn't looking at your tweets, Dan. I was just like living in the moment of excitement.
I was too. I wasn't looking at yours either. It wasn't like you were like putting it in my face or anything. We both knew what was going to happen, and we both reacted accordingly.
FSU real quick. This FSU Twitter guy. I first of all, I didn't even know Coker played at Florida State. Maybe I'm out of the loop on that. So he was a transfer. Florida State sends out a tweet after the game. Congratulations to ex-Seminole, ex-Knoll, Jake Coker on the national championship. What are you doing if this is your team, KFC?
I hate this move. I mean, if this was, to compare to one of my teams, if this was the Jets sending out congratulations to Rex Ryan or the Mets with Daniel Murphy or something, it fucking blow my head off. And the fact that they do it with Florida State fans makes it all that much better. I mean, Florida State Twitter is the scales of society, the bottom of the barrel. To think that was going to go over well is so incredibly tone deaf. Unbelievable.
Big Cat.
I don't like the tweet, but Florida State fans getting upset is so stupid because the reason why Coker transferred was he was behind Jameis Winston, who won a national title. So what the fuck are you even complaining about? Like, you won a national title with the guy that beat out Coker. So, and Coker sucks, by the way. He sucks. Like, that throw that he had, the touchdown throw, that the guy was wide open, that was an awful throw that he just hung up there. He, couldn't feel the pocket, no pocket awareness. So, I don't know why Florida State fans would be that upset. You got a national title with a better player who beat out Coker.
Sneaky, I think my favorite tweet of the night came from Danny Boy Kane, who said, Clemson looks like they're built like an SEC team, which is what we can expect from Mark Richt from Miami, so we'll be back. It literally was the most nonsensical connect the dots.
Do you see that's you with, every Patriots story ever?
Hey, there's a lot worse guys I can be compared to than Danny Boy Kane.
True. That was actually a really nice thing I just said to you.
Moving on. So this kind of smoke show, I guess she dresses up dicks, almost like people used to do with dogs or something, or cats, and make paintings, and you call it art. You put a little knit wool hat on the crown of your dick, and then you put it in a museum. My question: the girl's hot, and this could be me. These guys aren't hard, right? They're just floppy dick in it.
Yeah.
How do you not? If a hot chick is commanding me to do things with my dick, I'm hard 1,000% of the time. I worry about doctors with girls. This is it has its mind of its own, really. Big Cat.
They bring the girlfriend and the wife to fluff them, so they get them hard.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, did you watch the video?
No, I watched the first couple minutes.
Fluff.
Dude, it's a 2-minute video.
All right, I watched the first couple seconds. I thought I saw pictures, and I didn't see hard dicks.
So no, you show up. Well, this is my question to you guys. First of all, she's hot, but I always feel like it's a little bit of cheating when girls wear those glasses that make every girl look hot. You know the ones I'm talking about?
It's all that kind of look, yeah.
Almost
Yeah,
all
so-
girls cheat. I mean, that's
cheat. It's a little bit of a cheat, but anyway, you bring like your girlfriend or your wife, and they get you hard, and then she takes a picture, which I think is kind of bullshit. Like she should be part of the getting hard part. Like that, you should, if you're gonna pay $500 to get your dick taken pictures of, she needs to get you hard. It's like going to the barbershop and having your hair shampooed before. Like you shampoo my hair, then you cut it. You get my dick hard, then you take a picture of it. I need the whole service.
Who would do this? Who would go to this smoke with their girlfriend?
That's a question for you, Kevin. Those are New Yorkers.
And what kind of bizarro world what type of bizarro world mental games are we playing where it's like, oh, you bring your girlfriend or your wife who's like you're probably bored silly of. You're obviously getting hard thinking of her touching your dick.
My point.
So just fucking have her, let's cut the shit and you touch my dick. By the way, I saw a video in New York of a guy taking a shit yesterday in Starbucks.
He's shitting in the Starbucks right now. Yeah, he dropped his pants, he's shitting right now.
I promise you this. If anybody takes a shit in Starbucks in New York City while I'm getting my coffee, I am out. I don't care what happens to Barstool Sports. I don't care what happens to you guys. I don't care what happens to your little kid, KFC. I don't care what happens to Hank. I don't care if Hank's like broke, desolate in the streets of New York. I am leaving. There will be no shitting in Starbucks on my watch when I'm in there.
In the bathroom or in the...
No, you shit in the fucking middle of the fucking Starbucks.
Yeah, and it was great. They wouldn't let him in the bathroom, so he just took his pants down to his knees and tried to take a shit. And they were screaming how there's a crazy man in Starbucks, and he was like, I'm not crazy, I'm just a heroin addict. Yeah. I don't have mental issues, I have heroin problems. And he was shitting on the floor. And all I could think when I saw that, I was like, well, everybody's coming.
I would walk up to that guy and be like, you just ruined my company. I've done 12 years. I hope this shit was worth it. His dick's hanging out. And he's like,
I disagree, Dave. I like that guy. He gave them an option. Open the bathroom for me. Right. And like he said, if it was a crazy person, I would say I'd agree with you, Dave. But it's a heroin addict. What do you want to do? Like I would imagine that heroin gives you the runs.
Damn. Heroin people, heroin addict, they have to poop too. Everybody poops, Dave. Me, you, heroin addicts.
Let me tell you guys something. I feel like you can push me pretty far. Like, it's hard for me to cross that line in the sand. I don't think I've posted a kid's baby dick. I'm like, that's fair game. I almost say everything is fair game.
That's where you draw the line?
I draw the line with somebody shitting while I'm getting my morning coffee.
The most bizarre line.
I don't care if you come and shit in this office. Coffee in the morning, that's like my time. You do not shit when I'm getting my morning coffee. I won't have it. Couple Patriots stories. It's that time of the year where the Patriots will be in the news now, right through February 8th, probably 2017. So Belichick had a press conference today, black eye, like bruised eye, a lot of hypotheses what went on. I have no idea. I reached out to my sources, haven't heard back. What's the bigger story, that or the story on how Brady plays catch, which I don't know if you read this, but apparently like he just goes up to people like, you want to have a game of catch, and then he throws it like 100 miles per hour from like me to 5 feet away in the locker room. Two great stories. I, by the way, think the black eye is awesome. I love it. What do you got, KFC? What's the biggest story?
The Belichick black eye blows the Brady story out of the water. This is one of those moments where I like Belichick. This is hilarious, and you kind of ruined it. The fact that he just rolls up to the podium, and he's done this before with like cold sores on his lip and just looking like a gross troll, and he's just like, it's like he doesn't even know. He just doesn't fucking care at all. No even thought to acknowledge it. Not like most people would be like, I was like playing with my fucking grandkid or whatever, and he knocked me in the eye. Nothing. Just everybody sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? And Bill's just like, let's talk about football. Unbelievable power move. It just sucks that people like you have ruined the funniness of Bill Belichick.
Dan, I mean,
the Belichick is such a G for the simple reason that he probably like slipped on the ice in like a total buffoon move and hit his eye, and it was a total klutz thing. And then he shows up and everyone's like, "Oh, did he get attacked by a bear? Was he wrestling like Macho Man?" It's so ridiculous that you can spin probably something that was really embarrassing for him to him being a badass, and everyone's like, kind of agree. We kind of agree here. Like, he just showed up with a black eye, totally nonchalant, so he probably fought someone or did something badass.
I went and saw Star Wars by myself in the movie theater. Sat next to like two couples and sandwiched in between. It was slightly weird, uncomfortable.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? They're like the boy and the girl were on either side of you?
Two
couples.
couples.
Two couples.
Two
Okay,
couples.
all right. Got it.
By the way, great movie. I'm not a Star Wars guy. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, really enjoyed it. If you told me, like, there's 5% chance Belichick has the same powers as, like, that huge villain, like the guy who creates all the bad guys, I would believe you. It's with the black eye. Belichick doesn't just, like, fall. There's always more to it. There's always a game plan. There's always something going on. There's something going on with that eye. And I couldn't be more confident because of it. What?
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
It's like a very common thing that Belichick gets compared to the Star Wars guy, right?
Yes. I've made like videos of that throughout the years.
I thought you were like acting like you invented that right now.
He did.
I did invent it the first time. If you went back to like 2008 when I did like all the pictures of him in the snow with Darth Vader's theme playing, Kevin, I invented 99% of the themes and motifs around the Patriots. And you guys laugh and laugh, but it's the fucking truth.
All right. I have one question, though, Dave. Actually, not a question. It's a statement. I want your thoughts on it. Tom Brady is so lucky that he's so good at being a quarterback because he is the biggest fucking loser in the world.
Everybody hates the guy that's described in that blog. It's just that he has all the rings to back it up.
Dude, the Himalayan salt and the no coffee and this and that, like his guru that he walks around. He is Russell Wilson. We make fun of Russell Wilson for being such a fucking nerd dweeb. Tom Brady, I'm saying this, and I'm saying it because he is so good, and he's probably the best quarterback of all time, so he gets the pass. He's lucky because everything else about him is increasingly unlikable.
He does impregnate supermodels and actresses on the regular, which I do not believe that is something Russell Wilson does. So you kind of got to tip your cap there, no?
It's a little bit of an X factor.
I mean, just a tiny bit. One guy doesn't have sex. One just is putting babies in everybody who moves. So I would go, and Dan's stuck here.
I'm frozen. I can see myself being frozen.
We'll just continue. We can hear you. But that's sort of an X factor. And I think Brady just does it because Brady wasn't always like this. He wants to play till he's 100. So fine, do it. Last one. This one's going to capture the hearts and minds of the Stoolies, and it's captured mine a little bit. I don't know how much you guys are in the loop here. So during all this churn and madness getting invested, I get an email out of the blue. It's the Pirate King, Simon. Out of the woodwork, haven't talked to him since he demanded an apology from me. And I said, I'm not going to apologize for the way I've treated you, but you can have the intern job if you wear an eye patch the entire summer. I said, nope, I'm out. You really sent me a mean email. Like, this is not how you treat people. You'll get yours. Like 2 days ago. The Pirate King, he says, is that offer to still dress up as a pirate available? Because I will dress up as a pirate for the year.
You got to up the ante from not just an eye patch, full pirate.
Full pirate.
Hook.
I already said.
Parrot on the shoulder, the whole nine.
I already said the original move. We got to find a plank, and I want to push him off, like walk him with a sword in his back into a body of water that he has to go into. Now, there's two sides to this. I haven't decided whether I'm taking him back yet. The content...
Well, you have to.
Listen, hear me out. The content of having Pirate Simon dressed as full-blown pirate for a year, unbelievable. Pushing him into a body of water off a plank, awesome. I still think he's the type of guy in this day and age who could show up with one of these guns everyone's talking about and just blow us all away.
One of these guns everyone's talking about. These guns you hear about these days.
These guns, gun control. The pirate, if I'm going to say there's one guy that like actually could go like ape shit on us, It's the Pirate King.
He's gonna like move to New York and everything.
Yeah, sounds that way.
Can I ask a question? Because this actually has become a theme now. I'm sure you have a million emails coming to you. Do people think, like, us moving to New York, we're just going to be throwing money around and stuff? I mean, it's crazy that everyone wants to work for us now. You didn't like nothing's really changing. It's just a job.
No, actually, I would disagree with that though. The fact that people think it's gonna be easier to get a job now.
Right.
Like, we're a fucking free for all, hiring idiots who are just because they're blind. Now we're gonna have like real people to answer to. Now you think you're gonna get a job here?
We've
You
had
missed your fucking chance, man.
We've had a lot of people, even some internally, I won't say names, but like intern Dana, who seems to think like the fact she really did nothing when she was here, like, well, now we're going to New York, so now I will do stuff. It's like, yeah, but you had a whole summer to prove that you could do stuff. Just because we're going to New York doesn't mean now, like, you can be Chantel West Coast. You know, it's like that's not necessarily how it's working.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
The pirate dressing as a pirate, I'm paralyzed. I don't know what to. We are putting our lives, me specifically, in grave danger, welcoming the Pirate King back to the lair.
See, all right. So I'll stand up for Simon a little bit here. I don't think he's a gun guy. One of those guns you hear about these days. He's obviously not trustworthy because he's a pathological liar. But you know, as long as we just make sure, maybe what we do is we have him dress up as a pirate. And also have him have like those headphones like Drew Brees' kid at the Super Bowl. And just anytime like we talk about even anything remotely, you know, classified, we make him wear them. And so like that's all I'm more nervous about him like hearing about the workings of churning and being a pathological liar.
We'll have one of those like soundproof booths.
Yeah, we'll just throw him
in front of glass, and he just sits there as a pirate.
Like, dude, you got to sit in here. You don't get to hear anything we say. Like, he's not gonna. Maybe, and Dave, if you're worried about this gun stuff, you make it a bulletproof glass, and you throw him in that every day, and you lock the door.
I honestly don't know. I feel like once you have this pirate guy, he's gonna try to linger. He's gonna be like,
well, yeah,
Long John Silver. We're not gonna be able to
play.
get rid of this guy. And it's like, where'd he go from being a pirate? And then we're just gonna have this pirate guy.
Now, also, this is for an intern position, so he's going to be unpaid.
I don't know what he's doing.
So, I mean, you can't come to New York and just live unpaid as a pirate without becoming some sort of like violent deviant. That's, you know, those things.
And I mean, it's everywhere. Like if we go out, he's in. Like I don't ever want to see him unless he's a full pirate getup.
Maybe he's the guy who sits in the RV park in New Jersey. You let him live in the van
As a pirate.
As a pirate.
We'll
I mean, you wire it with
like a pirate ship. We'll like dress it up like a pirate ship. He'll live his whole life as a pirate in an RV.
That would be pretty great. I mean, that's it right there. And you put cameras everywhere, and you're like, here's your rent. You don't have to pay rent. We'll pay for the RV to stay there. You sit in this RV all summer, come to work with fully dressed as a pirate, and we put the earmuffs on whenever we talk about
And that RV can play music that goes outside. So even in the park, it's just playing like pirate music.
the Raiders theme song.
Yeah, like 24/7. Like people in the RV, like, what is that? It's like, oh, there's a pirate who lives in. Like, what kind of pirate? A pirate of porn.
The poor churning group. Like,
I love that people.
By the way, the two like main issues so far after they acquired us is like calling people cunts and fighting with everyone on the internet, and we're gonna hire a useless, talentless pirate.
That's the best. The people that actually thought that like we would change as a company, who were bitching and moaning that we sold out, like we're just gonna get worse.
Oh.
We're gonna be a worse version of ourselves with Dave's fucking cartoon brain going all the time.
That's really what it is. I can't think. It's like, how can I humiliate my people so they may actually like go crazy? I mean, but again, and this is a memo. I'm going to end it on this. Simon, I don't go looking for like pirates, but I didn't say, oh, you want to come now that we're in New York? He proactively reached out for me. So I will not be guilted by people like that who's, you embarrass me. Bro, don't send me an email saying you're going to dress as a pirate. That's how you get pushed off the plank.
That's the dynamic that I don't understand, where people think that like that now is the time to come start working for Barstool when we're living in the most expensive city in the world. There's going to be a limited amount of desks. And it's just a job now. Like, you have to go to the work now.
I mean,
3 years ago was when you wanted to get in on Barstool, not now.
or even like, I'm going to have, like you said, I'm going to have to up the ante on humiliation and antics just to prove I haven't sold out. Like, I wouldn't mind if there were sharks where we pushed him into, like, the water.
I'm going to be – this is a situation where everyone else has to be really nice to Simon. Like, because I want him shooting you. I want him coming in and gunning for Portnoy's office. And like, hey, remember me, Simon? I bought you lunch that one time. Like, leave me alone, dude.
Did you not see me stand up for him? That was calculated. That was a don't shoot me stand up for.
He may become his own little New York sensation, too, because they like crazy people there. Like, if you're just like, who is this pirate guy?
Simon would be shitting in a fucking Starbucks.
Put him in Times Square and have him panhandle all day with the GoPro.
Yeah, that's a good idea because they don't like that stuff.
No.
You encroach on their territory, you're getting beat up. You're getting shanked. Simon, if you get stabbed by Elmo, you can work here.
If our pirate gets stabbed,
that would be the best story
that's headlines, baby.
He's like bleeding out, and we got Hank with like cameras on him, like talk to us about the blood. Oh, I don't know. I don't do this a lot. I haven't decided because I am scared. I think he's a dangerous person. So we'll see.
All right, Dave. Did you have any thoughts on? I need to hear your thoughts on Jewel still, like being one of the hottest because of her
Jewel.
singing. Yeah, okay. You saw the Charlie Whitehurst Jewel thing. They're gonna
love Jewel. She fixed her tooth too, right?
Yeah, she fixed all her teeth. Yeah.
Let me tell you, I bought the single "If God Was One of Us."
Yeah, I've been listening to her all day. I mean, that couple, the sex that they're having, probably right this second. You want to talk about hot?
No, I'm a big Jewel guy. Always been a huge Jewel guy. I even like the snaggletooth. I wish she kept it.
She got it fixed though, Kevin.
But I liked it. It's like I like weird shit like that. So, like that's a little fucking nasty.
You're sick, Portnoy.
She lives in a van, dude. She's like Tom Sula of the music world.
That may be the most interesting, nonsensical quote of all time. I mean, it doesn't make an ounce of sense, but I like it.
What are you talking about? Tom Sula lived in a fucking car.
All right,
Tom Sula. Same people.